Care Ring was established in 1955 by Maribel Conrad, a nurse who saw a need and took action to address the issue of health inequities in our community. While helping numerous patients with heart disease, she realized that merely treating the illness was only one aspect of her responsibility as a healthcare provider. To truly impact the community beyond individual patient care, she would have to find ways to prevent illness in the first place. Maribel and several of her fellow nurses began going door to door in poorer areas of Charlotte to check on families, particularly mothers who could not afford to visit a doctor. These nurses not only provided medical care, but they also passed on basic health education. Through the years, as our organization has developed and expanded, we have remained committed to Maribel's vision of serving the community and delivering high-quality health care to those requiring assistance. Today, we come together to celebrate the organization's latest milestone, one that we believe would have brought great joy to Maribel.
You guys did this, not me. I know I usually do all the talking, but I am only a tool and a voice that amplifies what you guys do each and every day to support our organization over and above, within our four walls and beyond. Every way in which you serve and remove barriers to access to care for the nearly 8,000 patients that we serve. This moment, this is a celebration. This is our community's response to your collective strengths and impact, so thank you. It's that impact and that growth, thanks to infusions by our funders, especially Mecklenburg County, towards growing our maternal child health efforts, or our system partners, Atrium and Novant, in addition to the over 1,600 medical professionals that volunteer their time to expand programs like PRO, or LISC Charlotte, who recently helped us start to close the transportation barrier gap, and Next Stage, who helps us to tell the story over and over again community-wide, just to name a few. They're all putting us in a position where we could no longer hire anyone that needed a desk. Everyone had to work from home, and we're a human services agency, so that just doesn't feel right. The frequency in the trips to pick up diapers from Bright Blessings and baby bundles in the diaper bank had to increase. And food boxes from Nourish Up. We had to keep going back because there's nowhere to put it. We're serving our community, and during the pandemic, it was especially hard, even in our lobby, to divide the sick patients from the well patients. You've seen our space. And my director of grants administration, who I really need to write, she doesn't have a door. So that's also a challenge, if you can imagine. So last spring, we began to ask ourselves, is it time for a new home? We are celebrating our 20th anniversary in the Ascend Nonprofit Solutions Building, which is formerly known as the Children and Family Services Center. It's this year. But as you've seen and heard, in the last 3 years, we've grown. And at that time that we began to ask those questions, fate led us to a broker named Greta Bostic at Davis Moore at Denise Hurley's Medical Professionals Magazine event. She bravely took on this project for us, and after many months of searching, this gem of a building and its owner, Randy Martin, who was seeking to do some social good with the space, well, this investment seemed like just the right fit. And again, things seemed to naturally align. I ran into Todd Berg at Community Matters during breakfast. I worked for Todd and the late Keith Morris about 2 decades ago. I was then unemployed as a single parent, and I was still a student, and this was during the last recession. And they took me in at that time with some temporary work. So I took that opportunity to orient him to what I'd been doing in the last 2 decades, and they too bravely took this project on and decided to stand with us. But then we needed money. So just 7 short months ago, we set on this course, and although those of you know me, I do not shy away from a challenge, but very uncharacteristic of myself, I had this nagging spirit of doubt in our ability to really do this. And I called some folks, some more seasoned people, Brian Collier, Kristen Hills Bradbury, Patton McDowell, Charles Thomas, Tom Lane, Brett Mabry, Chris and Andrea Flynn, who have been longtime donors with the agency, Stephen Heisman with Town Bank, and Laura Clark of United Way of Greater Charlotte, just to name a few. And I picked their brains, they picked up the phone, and they encouraged us, and they kept saying, and I was really annoyed, it's only a little over $2 million. But I promise you that your confidence in our ability to pull this off when I wasn't sure of our ability to do it, it meant a great deal to me at that moment in time. And having never done capital fundraising before, I used that energy to fake it until we made it. We grew stronger with every pitch and more bold with each ask. Some of you who are on the latter end got the good stuff. And then I had to learn to wait. And my first call came from Deepa, and I'll never forget where I was sitting when you did that. The rest is history, and to date, 7 months later, I am humbled to share that we've raised over $2.25 million for this project. Thanks to each of our donors, who I know now you guys talk to each other, and you pledge not only your coins, but your confidence in us and our ability to continue impacting this community for years to come. To Anna Nelson and the C.D. Spangler Foundation, the Leon Levine Foundation, the Charlotte Hornets, State Employees Credit Union, the Springsteen Foundation via the Foundation for the Carolinas, the Cannon Foundation, Davis Moore, Mecklenburg County, and most recently, as of last week, the Bissell Ballantyne Legacy Foundation. Your significant gifts. I say I have no words, but I think you know that's wrong too. But just know that your words, when you gave those gifts, that meant a lot. We never went public with this ask. Again, a little bit of fear on my part, but we didn't have to. We had a lot of help from friends along the way for that. And so I think now we are going to move into unveiling a few renderings of the space. We're going to give you guys some tours and let you know what things will look like later. You'll have to use your imaginations. And then I'm going to be followed by Councilman Malcolm Graham, whose district we're now going to happily be within. Dena Diorio, our esteemed and fearless county manager. And then I'll close us out before a picture, and we'll get further instruction on the rest of our time together, including putting holes in the wall. I'm really excited about that part. All right. Ready? Let's go. I'll do this one. That's so beautiful.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We should be excited to be here today. A lot of people know me in my political capacity as a former state senator or a council member, but I started off my career as a nonprofit executive director, working with local boards, volunteers, and mission-driven organization. I love this organization. President Montgomery sets the example not only for her staff, but for other nonprofit executive directors throughout this community. She's already acknowledged her staff, acknowledged her board members, but could you give them one more round of applause? All the work that they do in our community. It's been an honor for them to be in Charlotte City Council District 2 and on Graham Street in the North Triangle Street, Graham Street quarters of opportunity. As you know, Ring plays a vital role in providing healthcare services to the underserved populations, and their presence in quarters of opportunities like Charlotte City Council District 2 will greatly benefit the community. By moving their location to an area where there's high demand for healthcare services, Ring can better serve the residents who need it the most. This strategic move will help bridge the gap in access to healthcare and maternal child health services in this district, ultimately improving the health outcomes of its residents. Being here in this quarters of opportunity, I'm so excited. One thing that I will pledge, and I've already done it privately, so I'll do it publicly, is we need to make sure that the City of Charlotte name is on this board of all these fantastic sponsors and contributors. And so we're in budget season. You know, we've had numerous conversations. The end is near. And so hopefully we can also add our names to the list of tremendous community organizations and others who see the value in investing in this nonprofit organization, the mission that it does, and the help that it will provide for strengthening quarters of opportunities like Graham Street and North Fine Street. So welcome to the neighborhood. We're here to help, and certainly look forward to partnering and working with our community partners like Mecklenburg County, who's always been a leader in providing these type of resources and services to the communities that they're involved and engaged with. I'd like to recognize Commissioner Dunlap as well as Commissioner McDowell, I think, who's here as well. And certainly I think the county manager's next up. So I would transfer it over to her.
I would say good afternoon, but I feel like you've already said it, so I'm not going to say it again. But good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dena Diorio. I'm the Mecklenburg County Manager, and it's really exciting to be here with you today. I have sat beside Tchernavia for the last 7 months as she's gone through this journey, and I know that she's put everything she has into it, and I'm so excited to be with her here today. But Mecklenburg County has always been an incredible supporter of caring. We have been a supporter of Nurse-Family Partnership for decades, as well as physicians reach out. So we have always been very supportive of the mission and the work that caring does. But more recently, as the Board of County Commissioners has set its priorities, we continue to see more alignment between what the Board of County Commissioners sees as important and what caring does as well. So one of the board's priorities now is health access. And of course, physicians reach out and Nurse-Family Partnership are really part of that. We're very excited to be able to give additional ARPA dollars to caring, to be able to expand Nurse-Family Partnership to make it be the largest in the Southeast. We're incredibly proud of that. That program has shown results year after year after year, and we continue to want to find ways to be able to continue to expand that. We also were thrilled about the partnership with the Public Health Department on a guided journey. It's a model that we think we can bring to scale across our county to really make sure that moms that are not at high risk have opportunities to connect with a community health worker and get access to the things that they need. So again, really excited to be able to do that. But the other part that we're really excited about is caring's alignment to the board's priority of early care and education. We know that babies and moms, if they get the right care early on, we know that the first 1,000 days of a baby's life is the most important part of their life, to be able to make sure that their development is strong. And so the expansion of the maternal child health and the mom and baby clinics that we're going to have here is really going to be incredibly important and incredibly beneficial to this community. But I say all that to say that if you want to give your resources to an organization, there has to be a high level of trust. And so having this woman at the helm of this organization has been an absolute game changer. First of all, she's smart as a whip. She's incredibly, incredibly passionate about the work that she does. When I tell you she's amazing, I mean that she's really amazing. She is really a rock star. She's a future leader of this community. And I say you need to keep your eye on her because she's certainly going places and she's going to do tremendous things for our community. So I'm so proud to be here with you, and I am so proud to see what you've accomplished, and Mecklenburg County will continue to be by your side every step of the way. So congratulations.